Week number 5, people. I got Coach Andrew right here with me. We're about to discuss some big games coming up. I was actually, well, first of all, how you doing, Coach?
I'm good. You know,
Very nice, very nice.
how
How
have
are
you
things
been
looking
with everything?
with everything?
It's good. A lot of new changes. A lot of
Nice.
things a lot of things I'm working on.
Change is good.
Change is great. Um, I think that's what everyone needs to know is like change is great. So
And as you can see, people, 21, 21. Coach Andrew and I are tied up in this prediction thing. Um, so this is going to be an interesting week. We got WCAL starting up, and we're going to try to be at all the WCAL games this weekend. But the biggest game, I think, in the South Bay is going to be Live Oak hosting Branham. 3-0 versus 3-0. Guess where I was just at, Coach Andrew?
were you in Morgan Hill? No, you're in Los Gatos. Wait, I don't know.
No, I was hanging out with the Bruins.
The Bruins, Santa Clara, right?
No, Branham.
Branham. God, how many teams
There's
out here
only
are
two.
Bears?
There's only two. There's Branham and Santa Clara.
Oh, I think I'm just grouping everybody as bears because there's like a lot of bears. Yeah, everyone's an animal. You know which one? You know what? Since we're on that topic, really quick, if anybody can comment how many teams are Mustangs, they should get an
16.
Ike sandwich.
They're
That's supposed
16.
to.
They're 16 in NorCal.
Can someone name all the schools? If someone names all the schools in 48 hours, not you,
Homestead.
not you, not you, not you.
When you hear the word Mustangs, though, who's the first team? What's the color that comes to mind?
Blue. It's
Green.
really green. Well, I'm blue. I'm
Homestead.
biased. A lot
Yeah,
of it's
that's
Christian.
true. Yeah, so I was hanging out with Coach Johnson and his Branham Bruins, and they looked very organized. Number one, it was like a classroom on the field. They were, it's also a Monday practice. So there's a lot of, it wasn't like heavy when it comes to like drills and all that stuff, but it was like a classroom, man. I'm just like observing, and I liked what I saw. They look really prepared and focused, and I think this is going to be a really good game. So we're going to start this prediction segment with Live Oak and Branham. I saw the Branham Sobrato game as much as I can. I watched anything and everything that was put out. That was an impressive game. I was pulling for Sobrato, obviously, and you predicted Live Oak would win, and they did. They pulled it off last minute, last second. Congratulations to the Live Oak Acorns.
Go nuts.
Go nuts, baby. So with that, I will let you start this prediction segment with the Live Oak hosting Branham, two undefeated teams who likes to score a lot of points, by the way. Who's going to win, Coach Andrew?
At home,
Live
it's
Oak at
really hard.
home.
It's hard to bet against Live Oak at home.
I know.
Just yeah, there. That's man. I've coached a couple games up there, and I've been on both sides of it where we won and then we lost, but they're always close games. But the atmosphere there is crazy. So if you're not used to loud crowd, home crowd, it'll. I mean, not a lot of people really like put that into there, like how much like a crowd like plays into the game.
Oh, I
But I'm
think
not.
it does. I definitely think
Yes.
it does.
So I'm gonna go Live Oak. I would say I'm gonna go 28-24 Live Oak.
Ooh. Well, like I said, there's a reason why I wanted to see the Bruins today. last minute phone call too. And I appreciate Coach Johnson allowing me to be there and kind of take a look at what's going on. And dude, they got some athletes over there. And I believe this is it going to be an upset if they beat Live Oak? No, right? Because Branham it's always been consistently up there. They always finish somewhere, on top, right? So I'm gonna go with Branham.
Hmm.
Branham.
Score.
Branham. Let's go, Branham.
Score.
I should have worn blue, but I was recording my Stanford segment, so I'm wearing this. I look pretty good in red.
What's your score?
Branham.
I know score.
Oh, I think this is gonna be a pretty high scoring game. So I'm gonna go with 38-35.
Wow, that's high. Field goal.
Both of them like to score.
They
So
do. Very high powered offenses for sure. And strong enough defenses,
yep.
So I think that's a great game.
I'm sending Theo down there. So Theo, you better show up
This is on Friday.
on Friday. Yes.
Okay.
Up next, the biggest matchup in the WCAL at Kezar Stadium. Can the Sacred Heart Cathedral Fighting Irish take down the mighty Serra Padres? I just called Serra mighty. Mighty usually is associated with De La Salle, but De La Salle kind of lost that title.
Oh wow.
So it's now the mighty Padres. What's your prediction, Coach? Give me a score. Come on now.
They can't. They can't. No one really can at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's really not. You really can't point out anything like that's glaring
Yeah.
against Sarah. Um, just watching them through these first few weeks, they got to buy. The whole WCL got to buy. So hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's very hard at this point to
So
pick.
okay, get to the point, Coach. Get to the point.
Oh, dude, 35-0. I can't.
35-0.
Yeah,
Um, I would be
Sarah.
surprised if Sacred Heart actually score. Because
I
last
know.
year, okay, their best chance of beating Serra was last year.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, I'm not trying to stir anything up, but I hate to say this, but they kind of messed it up during pregame. Because when Serra, you know how teams they stretch, they line up, and then
Hmm.
when they're done, they do their jacks, their jumping jacks. So
Yeah.
they call it the Padre jacks. So when Serra was about to do the Padre jacks, and I always get a shot at that because of the series that we're producing. You could see Sacred Heart just marching towards Sarah's warm up, clapping, making noise. It didn't look friendly. It looked like they were trying to intimidate Serra. And you're gonna see this footage, okay? And when they did that, that whole the entire mood like just changed into like we are gonna get these guys. I'm surprised Sacred Heart scored a touchdown. And then that was like against the third teamers, like the second teamers. But it was like 35-0 most of the game. It was very, very, very physical. There was a lot of big hits. And I could just imagine how this game's gonna go. So I'm hoping for a running clock halftime because I want to get out of there and meet up with Kevin over at the next game, which is Mitty St. Francis. But before we move on to that, let me get back to the Serra Sacred Heart Cathedral game. I think every single WCAL's team, every single WCAL's team goal this year should be the score on that defense. Because if you do, congratulations. That's a major accomplishment. No, seriously. Like, if you can score against Serra, pat yourself in the back because you did something amazing. So, but like I said, you know, their offense hopefully will get it together. I mean, they still have some trouble spots offensively, but yeah, this is going to be a quick game. Hopefully it's quick because you know we want to get out of there, enjoy the weekend. Like I said, I want to get back to San Jose or Mountain View. Oh, you want my score? Man, they're gonna hate me if I say the score that I had. 63-12.
I was being nice with mine.
No, don't take it the wrong way. I mean, Sacred Heart Cathedral is a very fine institution, but we're talking football here
Yeah.
against the number one team in NorCal. I just think they've been marinating for the last week, and yeah, I mean, who knows? I could be wrong, but I could see a 63-12. The 12 being like late in the game.
It's still a running clock.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, but I think the first quarter is going to be really interesting because Serra can strike with one play.
And they strike fast.
Remember, De La Salle.
Yeah.
Or is it Folsom? Is it Folsom or De La Salle? Now I forgot. It's too. It feels like it was a long time ago. Anyways, Serra fans, you can turn this off and move on. Go about your day. We're done predicting your score. I know they wanted to hear the score. There you go. He had a shout out. At least I'm giving Sacred Heart 12, but you better give me 63. All right. I think this is the game of the week. Mitty at St. Francis. I think it's the game of the week. I'm not sure. I have to wait for the higher power to tell us which one is going to be the game of the week. But Mitty's going to lose. This is this Lancer team is mad for ending the season the way it was ended last year. I'm sure the young guys are thinking about it, or the like 6 seniors on the team. I know the young guys, you know, the juniors, current juniors, I know they haven't forgotten about that. So this is going to be a close game. I am predicting a 21-17 game. Lancers. Let's go, Kingston. I want to see Kingston in the end zone 4 times or 3 times. 21. Yeah, that's 3 touchdowns. 3 times.
I mean, you started picking Mitty, and every time you do, you picked Mitty a couple of times.
I did. I did 2 in a row. I did. Yeah.
But if history shows, you picked against my Monarchs all last year, and that didn't really bode well for you. No, like
I won the second to the last game, which was the last regular game of the season.
Oh yeah, but we counted it. We beat him when it mattered.
Oh, I guess.
I went there.
Yes,
I went there. I did, and in great fashion. I think it's going to be a lot wider margin than most people are expecting.
Okay, so you want me to say 35-17 St. Francis? Okay, I'm with that.
I think this is going to be a repeat of my senior year. 35-7 Monarchs at the Lancers place. I think done. Don't even put that on. Let's go, guys.
I got a size large shirt for you, Kingston. Let's go, baby. In Kingston, we trust.
In all of Mitty, because I don't want to call. I mean, I can start going down the name, but they're playing together,
Let me
and
remind you, Will's Towers is no longer there.
oh, I know.
I is no longer there. Scudero is no longer there. Our really, really awesome friend Justice Toavalo is no longer there. Mr. Forney is in college now,
That's cool.
but they do have playmakers. No,
We
it'll
got
be a good
we
game. I think it'll
we
be a
got a we got a great team, and honestly, like that's the thing that I love about this team. And I keep in touch with a couple of coach, like one of the coaches over there, one of my buddies, and just everything that they tell me about it. I'll check in on like see what's going on over there. It's a complete team. So I like the underdog mentality. Monarchs all the way. We'll go back.
Did you just say they're the underdog for this game?
Well, because everyone puts us there. So I might as well just say it. Everyone always does. It's fine.
Well, one thing's for sure though. I'm sure the
It's
Mitty
gonna be a
boys
great game.
are gonna be fueled up and feeling good.
They're
Fueled
gonna be
up and
fueled
feeling
good.
good. I'm pretty sure the Mitty boys are gonna be fueled up and feeling good. So Lancers, make your pasta, eat some Ikes, do whatever it takes to prepare for this one because it's gonna be this is gonna be a banger. I can see it.
This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a good game though, for
It will
sure.
be.
At the end of the day, this is gonna be a great game.
All right, moving on. Two teams that we are very, very familiar with. Folsom Bulldogs hosting the De La Salle Spartans. Ooh. The number 2 De La Salle Spartans are going to go up Sacramento. Where are they located? Folsom. Somewhere up there.
Folsom's.
Sacramento. I think that
I mean,
I
it's
think De La
close.
Salle's feeling good. De La Salle's feeling good. We've been to 3 games so far this year. 3 De La Salle Spartan games. The Serra game, the St. Francis game, and the St. Mary's game. And we might go to this one too. But I think the LSL team is starting to really get it together. 28-7, Spartans.
Yeah, I agree with that same score. De La Salle Spartans. I think Folsom will probably strike first. I kind of see that happening. Folsom will strike first, and then De La Salle is just gonna roll after that.
Not if De La Salle gets the ball first. They're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
that thing and Kevin did a really good shot. Did a really good job shooting the De La Salle games, the last 2, the St. Francis game and the St. Mary's game. And what I like about his shots is like my style is a little bit different from Kevin. He likes to keep it a little wide, which is great because now you can see what the line is doing. And
mm,
I thought, man, they shut down St. Mary's. St. Mary's couldn't do anything. So, and St. Mary's, they have a lot of speed. And for them to take that away defensively, I'm not sure Folsom, unless Folsom improved from the first game against Serra, we'll see what happens. But I'm picking De La Salle, so that's that. Ramon Valley homecoming game versus Liberty. Ramon all the way, but this is going to be a close game. I'm predicting a 28-21 win. Luke Baker is amazing, man. That whole entire place was dope, dude. I was amazed. It felt good being there because there was tons of people. It was like nothing's going on except for the football game. It was crazy. You saw the shots. I was like, whoa. And here's the best thing that happened. Right before the game, I was chilling by the gate, heard my name, Ulf. And I looked over. It was my quarterback from high school. Yes, people, I did play football. Okay. So my quarterback from high school, Kyle Ryan, he was a stud back in the days, like a 5-sport athlete. His daughters and son goes to San Ramon. His son's a JV kid, and it was refreshing to run into him because it's been like such a long time since we've seen each other, and here he is with teenagers. And I had Manalo there with me too, so that was pretty cool. It was great to see
Oh,
you.
that's
Great to
awesome.
see you, Kyle. We gotta keep in touch. Yeah, hopefully his son. I'm pretty sure I'll get to see his son play. So that was pretty cool. But San Ramon, great environment. Love the vibe. They're gonna win their homecoming game. Luke Baker for homecoming king. There you go. You got my vote, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Ramon Valley. 28-21. You know, I like it. San Ramon Valley again. I got to watch some of these players train. At
Yeah.
places that I've
Oh,
worked at. Great players, great area. San Ramon's a fantastic area. And they're really supportive of all their local sports. So, there's no reason for me to pick against San Ramon Valley. They've been good.
I really like how they honored the veterans too in that particular game. That was pretty cool. Got some really good shots. All right. So moving on to the next game, we got Palo Alto and Menlo-Atherton. After seeing Menlo-Atherton play the way they did this past weekend, they are just a handful of penalties away, as in don't commit those penalties and you will win these games. So I'm picking MA 17-14. It's gonna be at MA. And yeah, I'm Palo Alto lost big to Los Gatos. They got shut out. It was like 50 something to 0. It was a bad game. I hope they're healthy. I hope they didn't lose anybody, but you know, MA's gonna come out. It's their first home game in a long while, so I'm gonna go with MA 17-14.
Okay. I mean, I like Palo Alto, and penalties can kill you, right? And they're silly penalties too. I think that's what kills a lot of teams, especially nowadays. Clean it up, guys. Come on. But I like Palo Alto. They've been playing pretty sound. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can tell they were outgunned against Los Gatos. But I don't see them I see them a little bit matched up better against MA this week, and I like their chances. So I'm going to go Palo Alto 21-7.
Okay. Okay. We shall see.
Shall see.
All right, we got two more games. This one's big. SI at Riordan. 2 p.m.
Okay.
game. I
You
heard,
know
I heard
what?
some really good things about SI, and I've seen some really good things about SI. So, unfortunately, when I saw Riordan, they lost. And even though there were some bright spots, I think they gave away a lot of how to beat them. They gave it away. So I'm picking SI 35-21. Riordan's got to get rid of the penalties as well. That's another team that committed a lot of penalties. And yeah, 35-21. That's my prediction. I'm going with SI. Sorry, Coach Adair. Hopefully you'll prove me wrong, but what I've seen from SI is yeah, they're solid. They're solid this year. So there you go. That's my prediction for that game. What about you, Coach Andrew?
Well, Coach Adair, I hope you prove me right. No, I mean, I do like what I see with Riordan. I think you got to, yeah, I agree. You got to clean it up a little bit. A lot of silly penalties, and then you still got a lot of firepower back there.
Yeah.
But SI is still a good team, but I think Riordan's gonna still take this away. I think it's gonna be close. 24-21, Riordan.
Okay. Well, mine was pretty close too. 35-21.
Yeah.
I was gonna give a different score, but all right. The other game of the week. This could be the game of the week. Bellarmine looking to ruin the Valley Christians homecoming festivities on Saturday night. I'm a believer in the Bells, even though I think Valley is a lot tougher. I'm not saying Bellarmine's not tough. Don't get me wrong. Hey, now. I'm saying I think this is the week that Bellarmine's gonna get it together and compete. So, but man, Valley can hit. Valley can Valley can do a lot of things Valley couldn't do last year. And so this is going to be one of those games where whoever scores first is going to be in the driver's seat because Valley's defense is really good, I think, but offensively, they might not be as good. Bellarmine, they got Parker 3.
Yeah.
Let him loose. I think Parker can take over this game. Parker can take over this game. Parker 3 can take over this game and deliver a 14-10 win to the GSF universe. Let's go, Parker.
So low score.
Low score, very low score. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I agree with the lower score.
Gotta score
I
first.
think it's
Gotta score first. It's
yeah,
almost
I
like
think
whoever
it's gonna
scores
be
first is going to be the winner.
yeah. So, I think, at the end of the day, like, I think, I mean, it was nice to see, Coach Machado get like, I mean, he's doing some things with this group.
Yep.
It's still a young group too. Still pretty young.
Yeah.
So young-ish. Like
They
he's
got
had the same group for a while.
they got some really solid seniors. I don't know. I might.
Yeah.
No, I can't change my mind now. I'm sticking with the Bells.
You can stick with the
Like I
Bells
said, whoever
because
scores first. So I'm gonna be looking through Twitter. Actually, I'm gonna be there. What am I talking about? I'm gonna be there, and really the confidence that will be unloaded to the team that scores first might be enough to carry that team all the way through.
okay, I'll agree with that. I also agree it's gonna be like who's gonna outlast the other. You know, Valley Christian's super physical, and you know, let's see if Bellarmine can respond to that physicality. But Valley Christian, like, very power power team. They're
Yeah.
gonna keep it going. But I think, yeah, low score game. I'm calling 17-14 Valley. Low score.
Well, mine is lower, 14-10. So I
Well, I
think
mean,
we're together on the special teams part. I think special
yeah,
teams is going to play a big role in this. So
prove us wrong.
yeah, like I said, man, I don't know. Should I'm sticking with the Bells. Parker, let's go. So that's it, people. Week 5 predictions are in. Tell us what you think. I'm sure Live Oak's gonna want to say something after hearing that I was at Branham. When are you going to our practice? When there's no traffic. No. I'll check you guys out. I'll check you guys out. That's gonna be a really good game. Looking forward to seeing the highlights from Theo's cam. So we mentioned MA and Palo Alto, and I want to talk specifically about MA and their game this past weekend against Menlo. That game had a lot of like really crazy looking tackles and hits as if they hate each other. I don't think they hate each other, but I just think it was an intense battle. And you saw the highlights.
Yeah, should we call this what's on your mind, Alf?
What's on my mind? So because of that game, and then what happened to um, Colorado's game against Colorado State, I tweeted out, I've been seeing a lot of big hits lately, maybe because I'm just in the right game, but it's interesting to me how some are called for penalty and some are not. We need to talk about this, Coach Andrew, because one of the first big hits that I've seen in a long time happened 2 years ago at the state championship when Joseph Bay blasted that modern day receiver, dented his helmet, and took him out of the game. And there was no penalty on that play. The hit was illegal, I guess. But if you watch this MA Menlo game, some of those hits were just like, wow, like face to face, like crazy.
Right.
I think most of them were called, but
Okay.
when you
I was about
look
to
at
ask.
it, they look legal.
Yeah,
One in
I
particular
watched it.
was a hit like on the chest, and the guy had the ball. It was a quick pass, turn around, bam. And then the other ones, guy carrying the ball, he got kind of stood up, and then tackler went bam, and then you. So yeah, I saw a lot of those. That Christopher Overfelt game, there was a few of those from far away that I saw. So I don't know. I'm confused. What's going on?
Okay. So I think okay, so I know from the grand scheme of things, right? I know the rules have changed a lot. And the big thing is like if you lead with your head, that is automatically a personal foul. It's targeting because you just can't lead with your head. It's dangerous not only for the tackler but also the player getting tackled. The other one is the defenseless player penalty. And that's the one where you kind of I feel like that's the most blurred line penalty. Um, because what are you considering like defenseless? Like if you look at since you brought up the Colorado game, if you look up if anyone that's watching this, like if you look up that hit against Travis Hunter, that is a defenseless. That's defenseless. He was already also going out of bounds. The ball was not in like nowhere close to him, and
Oh, it was over.
that yeah, and the defender just took a shot at it. That's literally defensive player. He wasn't even looking. He didn't even see it. That for sure. That's a blatant. That's a blatant like example of like a defensive player. I think the problem with what's going on now is I think a lot of the referees we can't differentiate between what's what. What's a defenseless player one, was a clean tackle, and then what's targeting. Because you
Mm-hmm.
can see it. I mean, some of the hits that I just watched that I watched from the Menlo-Atherton Menlo game, some of those could be classified as targeting. Some of them can be classified as defensive players. Some of them just look reckless. Like I think I saw one where the dude like jumped sideways, and I was like, "What happened?" Like that looked
Yeah,
crazy.
he was running and then he got now he had the ball though. He
Right,
had the ball, he was running, and then he got hit from this angle. That's
right.
legal.
So that's the thing. It's like so everyone's
But
trying
that
to
got a
avoid.
penalty. That's what I'm saying. That one particular play,
That's
there
what I'm
was
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of you are trying. Like that's why I said the line's blurred, right? So why wouldn't the like if we look at Jojo Bay from last year, or was it? Yeah, was it against Modern Day?
he's
Why
had a
wasn't
few
that considered a
already.
penalty? Huh?
He's had a few already. I think there's a total of
Yeah.
5 this season so far.
The
Like
thing
clean
is, like,
hits. And he got
yeah, the
called
thing
for
is,
like 12 of them.
yeah, if you look at the hit that he did against Modern Day, the receiver had the ball in his hand already, so he's in play, and he led with his shoulder. He hit him with his shoulder. Like, it just happens. At least that's what I saw. I saw him lead with his shoulder. Like, if you're
Did
hit,
you
and
see
this is
the
where it gets
face
blurred.
mask of the kid?
Well,
It
because
came off. It
he's
was
coming in
bent.
this way, right? he's coming in this way. And I
I
think
get it.
that's where everyone gets kind of like, if your head's in the way, it's when you do this. Like if you lead, and I've seen people lead like that. Yeah,
So like the MA game,
that's this
there was a
this
lot
leading
of
with your head.
face to face, bang, bang. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
those should always be called, but the rule is you have to lead with the shoulder. That's the rule. So that's also like on coaches to like, can you teach your players how to tackle correctly, but still apply the same amount of force that you want them to do, like how to wrap up tackle, all that stuff. Like, that's something that I think it comes down to like fundamentals, but it's also like we also have to call out the referees too. Like, do you guys understand and know what the differences are when you guys are calling it? Because sometimes there's like, I have seen, me personally, like, I've seen some calls against, at some games and they got called for a dirty hit. And I was like, no, that was fine. And then they'll leave the one that, like, okay, yeah, that was blatantly like a defensive player hit.
Yeah.
You can't do it. That's also the same thing because I saw some plays. Um, I don't know if it was at the Christopher Overfeld game this past week, but there's been some games that someone actually did bring it up on Twitter or X, is it X, Twitter, whatever, same thing. They
Heck,
brought it up about the crackback. So the crack blocks from the receivers
that
going
is
in
now
and hitting,
illegal, correct?
it's illegal to do that now.
Yes. Okay. I get that. So,
So,
but
which I get. That's good.
if you're on kickoff return and the ball's kicked and you're kind of going back and then you're setting back and getting ready to block, and then some dude just went, "Ow." Are you
So
a defenseless player?
from what I understand is if you're facing, here, face each other. If we face each other like this, so turn to your left.
I'm on your right.
Oh, turn to your right. Well, if I'm facing you, right? So on my screen, like I'm looking at your back. If I hit you
Okay.
this way, that's defenseless, right? But if we're facing each other, like even if like you're not even in position, but you're facing forward and you can see the guy coming, he can blast you.
Okay.
That's
So that
that's
okay.
still
That
okay.
makes sense. All right.
It can't be a blindsided hit. So I
Yeah.
can't be like running like this and then I'm about to turn and then you just bang
Oh,
right
yes.
there. You
Yes.
can't.
Okay. Gotcha.
That is like where it gets super, super
Yeah.
dangerous.
I see.
There's already been a couple serious like injuries with that
Yeah.
happening right now. So um, you know,
Oh, I saw a few of those last season, and I think while we're talking about this, I can roll those highlights. Um, so St. John Bosco versus Kahoku, the conclusion of that game, was that a penalty or was that a clean hit?
see now I need to like let me rewatch
Caught the
that.
ball and then he got blasted. It was a front hit. It was square. It looked like his face mask was on the chest. But since the runner or the ball carrier, the receiver was in motion, um, his helmet popped off, and I think that ended the game.
Yeah. So that's where like I'm saying like referees need to understand and differentiate between like what they're calling because if from I recall from what I just watched it right now, he's coming in with his head first. Like he's leading with his head.
Mm-hmm.
That is considered a penalty now. You can't lead with head, regardless of if he's like defenseless or if he sees you. You can't lead with your head. So I don't know. Like I think that should not have ended the game that way because if we're just going based off of like what the rules are now and like what's being called, then that is considered targeting because it's any point you lead with the head. or you hit somebody on the head. Or actually, no, it's not even targeting. That's a spear. That's spearing.
Yeah, that's
Even
dangerous.
that's illegal too. Like, so I think, at the end of the day, like everyone needs to understand like the difference. I think we should bring some other coaches to talk about this, and maybe we should learn how to hit and know what it is, like what's legal and what's illegal. Time to strap it up, Alf.
We should suit up, coach.
Oh crap.
Oklahoma drill. Yeah. Wait, how much do you weigh?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm like 165.
Okay, I'm a little bit heavier than you.
That's fine.
Actually, I'm a lot heavier. I
That's okay.
think I'm at like 77, 70. I'm like 180-ish. Like I it fluctuates. But no,
I
that'd
threw
be
that over my head.
dope, dude. Let's form tackle.
Yeah. And let's get other coaches to weigh in on this so that,
No, I do. It's such a blurred lines. Like it I mean, at that freshman game, that Serra freshman game, and last year St. Francis freshman games, I saw some nasty looking hits from the advanced players, and I'm just like, no penalty. But then varsity football starts, and you see a similar hit.
penalty.
It's called, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe the consistency needs to be there too with the officials. So, but that's all. That's what's on my mind. I was just thinking of that, and
That's honestly, like that's a huge, I think that's a really good like topic that's on your mind about it. Like I think everyone needs to learn about it. I know some programs like do this. Like I know for me from personal experience, like when I went to Mitty, like I did the eighth grade camp, and that was like the first thing we learned that day was how to form tackle. And then form tackling drills like all 4 years of high school, like at Mitty. So, I think I'm not just saying like Mitty's the only one that does it. I'm just saying like there are ways to do it. And as the rules change, and obviously like as players are getting bigger, faster, and stronger, you know, the form doesn't change though.
yeah,
I I think everyone just needs to like, like I said, I think we need to bring maybe three coaches and have them teach us how to form tackle. And we'll hit each other and we'll see like what would be called. And I think we should bring a referee,
hmm.
a knowledgeable referee who knows the rules by right, like now, like especially with what's
You were
changed.
about to say the F word, coach.
I almost did, but knows what's going on
Yeah,
now, like with the rule changes and everything that's legal, what's legal and what's illegal now. Because I
yeah.
think everyone needs to know like what's going on.
I'm gonna have to call Rod Hunter, our GSF referee, to share the knowledge.
And if any
Anyway,
coach, yeah, and if any coaches want to like teach Alpha and I how to form tackle,
yeah, I know how to form tackle. I was the leading tackler in my team in practice.
I was the leading, I was the leading tackled running back on my team. I'm
Dang,
just kidding.
man.
No,
Hey, that would be fun to suit up. Oh man. I know my kids will kill me if they find out, but anyways, 21-21. That is the current score. We made a prediction. We told you guys what's on our mind. Now it's time to go. It's
week
Monday
5.
night, so I just got a call. I just got a text from Coach Johnson over at Branham. A quick thank you for coming by. So look out for the Branham feature, people. And yeah, we're excited about the WCAL starting up this week.
Week 5.
Week 5, people. Do you want to hear about the Stanford Experience?
Dude, that game was terrible. It was god awful.
But I haven't been to a Stanford game since the McCaffrey season, the Heisman
I
season.
think it was, I think that's
And
the last time I went.
yeah, so I was really I was happy to be there. Took the kids, got them tickets, gave them money so they can do their own thing while I work, while daddy works. So took some pictures and I was hoping that Stanford would win, but Sac State, they deserved that victory. And I got some notes here that was shared to us, the media, from Stanford. They're really good at this. The loss, Stanford, is just the third of the Cardinal in its home opener since 2007. So good for them. Stanford's opening drive of the game resulted in a Casey Filkins touchdown run. Ashton Daniels, he was the starter. His 51-yard touchdown pass to Alik Ayamanor in the second quarter is the longest completed pass of his career and his third career passing touchdowns. That was actually pretty. That was actually Ayamanor's first career touchdown after catching a 51-yard strike from quarterback Ashton Daniels in the second quarter. Um, Ended the game with career best across the board, including 4 catches, 89 yards, leading the Cardinal in both categories. Unfortunately, they lost though. Let's see. This onside kick right here was recovered by Bryce Farrell, and this is how analytical Stanford really is right here. The first successful onside kick recovery by Stanford since October 20th, 2001 at number 5 Oregon. Wow. They keep up with everything, which is great, by the way. I love it. Defensively, the Hornets defense tallied 6 sacks with Jet Stanley, tallying a career high 3. Bailey and Cameron Broussard tied the team with 11 total tackles. I'm talking about number 4, Armand Bailey. So when Sac State got that turnover, it turned into an 11-play, 80-yard drive for a touchdown. And number 25, Elijah Tolliver, took the reverse. It was like a double handoff reverse. And that's his first touchdown. First career rushing touchdown. Bennett had a great game. He completed 21 passes for 279 yards, and he also threw a touchdown, which was the one to Marcus. Last thing about Bennett's performance, he became just the second Sac State player to rush for 100 yards against an FBS opponent, as he had 100 yards on 13 carries with touchdowns. He also completed 21 of 33 passes for 279 yards and a score. Devin Gandy had a career high 5 receptions for 64 yards, while Carlos Hill and Marshall Martin each had 4 receptions. So after Stanford tied the game on a 41-yard field goal, Sac State, they answered, or tried to at least, but they got picked off by Scotty Edwards as they were about to score. And after that, Broussard, he got the ball back, and it turned into a 22-yard field goal for Sac State to take the lead. Stanford moves back ahead with a pair of field goals from Cardi early in the fourth. Joshua Cardi extended his consecutive field goals made streak to 25 after going 3 for 3 on field goals in Saturday's game. Cardi made kicks of 41, 40, and 39 yards. Saturday was the 5th time in Cardi's career that he has made 3 or more field goals in a game. But yeah, man, Sac State. You know what really impressed me about Sac State was they didn't let up. They were playing to win versus if Stanford, they were kind of playing not to lose the game. The sense of urgency wasn't there. With the game tied at 23-23, Caden Bennett was able to escape pressure just before being brought down and found Fulcher along the sideline. I think he flipped that ball, and there he goes. 49 yards. See ya. But Sac State, as you can see, they were just banging it out. They were making plays. They had some hungry guys on that team that really wanted that game. So it was a historic win, I guess, for Sac State, because they have beaten
First time in a long
Yeah,
time.
first time in a long time. So yeah, good luck to Danny Scudero and Jaden Weber in the
Did they get
future.
in?
I didn't see him. I don't think they made the travel squad, but yeah, I
They
saw
do with track.
some familiar people. I saw Becca, who's a St. Francis alum, went to CSM, went to San Jose State, worked for the Army program at West Point, and now she's back at Stanford as a recruiting analyst or recruiting coordinator or one of them. Ran into her. I saw Jackson and Chase Cahoon with Aaron Knapp and their dad, and that was cool. um, so their dad is a Sac State legend. That's why he was there. He was the honorary captain, so it was great to see him on the field. It was kind of hectic. Like at the end of the game, there was a lot of things going on, and it was a lot of celebration. So, and I needed to get out of there because I met up with my children, and they had fun. Stanford is a really family friendly place to go.
Very much so.
Our next stop, San Jose State. Can't wait to see State and
Yeah, a lot of people
the new stadium and environment there. Oh, I know. I miss Lawrence Fan though. He was my dude when I used to go to San Jose State games, and he passed away a couple of years ago, and I really haven't gone there, but I'm willing to check him out soon and report on the Spartan experience.
Very different.
Yeah. So shout out to Stanford, always a 5-star institution. Except for the football part, we gotta get some 5 stars in there. So yeah, coach, that was my Stanford experience.
There you go.
Yep, WCAL's good this year. Tune in, got some highlights, people. And we're out.